Hi guys, good evening. This is Professor Rajan Ahmed. I welcome you from RK Finance classes. We are gonna have a detailed discussion about CFA. So I will be first briefing you across the lot of aspects of the CFA, and then I will be taking your questions because it may happen that whatever briefing I may give it to you. Good evening. This is Professor Rajan Ahmed. I welcome you from RK. So what a briefing I may give to you that could mostly solve all your questions. So that's the reason first I would be briefing you and then I would be taking your questions. Okay. If you have some questions, then you should raise hand. So for example, I'm talking about a particular topic, and if you have not understood about that topic, then you can raise hand. But about your personal questions, about that topic. So you have some personal questions. So for example, I'm covering CFA versus MBA, and you have some personal question related to that, then I will take it a little later. But when I'm covering CFA versus MBA, if you believe that I have missed upon some topic related to that, do raise hand at that time and get it clear. So I would be as detailed as possible when I'm covering a particular topic. So for example, when I'm talking about cost of CFA, I'll be as detailed as possible. If you have some personal question related to that, I'll take it a little later. But if you have some general question related to that topic which you believe I didn't address it, please ask there and there itself. Okay, there are around 10 to 12 general questions that I'm going to address, and then I'll be open for your personal question as well as general questions also. So let's begin. The first thing, what is CFA? CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. So it's about financial analysis of what? It's about analysis of financial reports. So each company is required to make financial reports. That process is called as accounting or bookkeeping. So each company which is there in India, which is listed, has to make the financial report to showcase their performance, their financial performance to its investor. Investors who have invested their money in those companies obviously would like to know whether their company is doing financially great or financially really bad. So each company has a legal requirement to make its financial reports, which will depict how did the company fare financially, how was the performance of company financially, did it do well, did it do bad. CFA is not about making those financial report. Making those financial report is nothing but financial accounting, which is covered in accounting courses like the famous course which is Chartered Accounting or Chartered Accountancy, CA, or CMA or ACCA. These are the courses which are about accounting, which focuses on the principles of accounting which are used to make those financial reports. All right. CFA is about analyzing those financial reports to come to a conclusion whether the company where investor has invested their hard-earned money, is that company really doing well, or is that company not doing well? So for example, now the recently you might be recollecting that now there are two IPOs coming. One related to food, very famous company which is related to food is launching its IPO, and one which is related to ornaments. Which are the two company? Very famous company, one related to ornament, one related to the food, which are launching their IPOs in the coming month. Good. Burger King and Kalyan Jewelers. Okay, so Burger King and Kalyan Jewelers are launching their IPOs in the month of December. So CFA would be about doing a detailed analysis about Burger King, detailed analysis about Kalyan Jewelers, looking at their financial statements and coming to a conclusion that is Burger King a great company? If it is, then we will advise our clients to subscribe to this IPO. If it is not, we will ask our clients, don't touch the IPO. And same goes with Kalyan Jewelers. So if by doing the analysis, we come to a conclusion Kalyan Jewelers is not that great company. Yes, it's a good company in the south, but probably it's there only in the south. So too much geographic concentration, etc. So we may come to a conclusion that it's not a great company. We'll advise our clients, please don't invest into it. Okay, or we may come to a conclusion that it has really good profit margin and it is really a very profitable company. then we can advise our clients. If we come to this conclusion, then we can advise to the clients, please invest into Kalyan Jewellers IPO. It's a great company. All right. So basically, we are not going to make financial reports of Kalyan Jewellers, or we are not going to make financial reports of Burger King. That is the job of accountant, which is covered in the courses like CA, ACCA, CMA, etc. It's not covered in CFA. CFA is about the financial reports which will be prepared by accountant, that we need to analyze, that we need to compare with financial reports of some other company, and then come to a conclusion that whether the company is good to invest or not so good, so you should avoid it. Financial statement analysis is at the heart of CFA, and that's the reason the name of the course is Chartered Financial Analyst, because he would be analyzing the financial statements. This is about financial analysis of entire company. Sometimes you may have to, as a chartered financial analyst, you may also have to analyze a particular project. So whether a particular project is good or bad, that is called as project analysis. Okay. So based on the project cost, how much is the project cost, and whatever are the project future expected cash flow. So if the project is successful, then future cash flows would be very high. And if project is a failure, then the future cash flows would be little lower. Okay, our volume is not consistently audible. Is that so? Is it now a little better? If I kept mic little, is it now a little better? Please say something. Was previous little better, or this is little better? Someone said it's not very audible. Both the same? This is better? All right, fine. Okay, so as you are doing a company analysis, you may also have to do project analysis. So what is called in the project analysis? Two parts. One, what is the project cost that the company has to pay in the current year, and what are the future inflows coming from the project? So today's cost would be compared with future project inflows. That's how we do the project analysis. Okay. So let's see. I mean, we understood that this is at the heart of the CFA, that is financial statement analysis is at the heart of a CFA. But apart from that, what are the extra things? What are the new things which are there in CFA apart from the financial statement analysis? Two specific markets. One is called as equity market, which in common layman term is called as share market. And second one is fixed deposit of the banks, which we call it commonly as bond market or FD market. So FD market detailed analysis is there in CFA. So who subscribe to the FDs and who should subscribe to the FDs? FDs of the banks are little safe investments. If you recollect what happened to Lakshmi Vilas Bank just 2 days back, Lakshmi Vilas Bank now has completely failed. So it has been taken over by DBS India. What happened? Company has failed. However, the depositors of the company are not losing a single penny. RBI has taken care of each and every depositor of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, and FD or saving deposit holders of Lakshmi Vilas Bank are not losing a single penny. But what is happening with the shareholders, equity shareholders? They are losing their entire money. The equity of Lakshmi Vilas Bank is being written down to zero, which means same company, when you look that company from the eyes of equity holders, that is shareholders, looks to be a little more risky company. Why so? Because those shareholders don't have a legal protection. RBI protects the deposit holders. RBI keeps the deposit holders, that is FDs, are kept priority. They are given a higher rank as compared to the shares. The shares are not given a priority. Shareholders do not have a legal protection. So although shareholders of Lakshmi Vilas Bank have put a case in the Madras High Court, but that couldn't succeed. So which means that the depositors takes a priority, and hence depositors are like FD deposits are kind of less risky investments. So we would be studying in detail about the bond market. What we'll be covering, we'll be specifically covering about corporate bonds. That is when corporates take money, borrow money directly from the people, they issue something called as corporate bonds, or in simple term, corporate FDs. Quite specific example of this is HDFC home loan ka department, HDFC has fixed deposits. Similarly, ICICI Home Finance has fixed deposits. They issue fixed deposits. Mahindra Finance also has fixed deposits. So basically, company also directly can borrow from the people by opening fixed deposits. But just the name of those fixed deposits are called as corporate bonds. All right. Sometimes even government can directly borrow from the people by issuing something called as government bonds. Okay. So we'll be doing in detailed analysis of government bond market, corporate bond market, and find out where we should invest. I mean, where our clients who would want to take as less risk as possible, they should invest. Some of our clients could be those clients who want to take a lot of risk. So for them, we will have to study share market, that is equity market in detail. In equity market, there are certain stocks which are more risky as compared to overall market. And there are certain stocks which are less risky as compared to overall market. For example, there are certain stocks which really does well when the market goes up. But when market crashes, they significantly crash. So market 1% se upar hai, so they go up by 5%. But when market crashes by 1%, it crashes by 5%. These are called as cyclical stocks or high risk stock. Common example of this is Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, banks like SBI, Yes Bank, etc. They are called as high risk companies where if the share market does well, they do fantastic. These stocks do fantastic. But if the share market overall does bad, these stocks do, pathetically bad. So basically, they are more risky than the market. We call them cyclical stocks. And there are certain stocks which are kind of stable. मतलब market ऊपर जाए या नीचे जाए, इनका performance is kind of stable, not that volatile. मतलब ऊपर नीचे ज़्यादा नहीं होता है, kind of stable होता है. These are called as defensive stocks. Common example, ITC, Hindustan Unilever, etc. Because the products that they sell are kind of products which are going to be consumed almost on an average in a stable quantity. For example, simple example, the HUL makes soaps. So it's not that in the expansion, the people of India will bath more and the consumption of soap will increase. Similarly, it won't happen that during recession, the people of India will bath less and the consumption of soap will decline. So be it expansion when Indian economy is going up or be it recession when the Indian economy is going down, in either case, people will not stop bathing. In expansion, people will not bath more. In the recession, people will not bath less. And the quantity of soap demanded, hence, it's going to be almost same during both phases of economy. And hence, these stocks are a little stable, which we call them defensive stocks. So in the equity market, we have to do a thorough analysis of the cyclical stocks and defensive stocks and then come to a conclusion that our clients should invest into cyclical stocks or they should invest into defensive stocks. All right. I'm just giving you a brief about equity market. Obviously, there's much more in this, but I'm just giving you just kind of a perspective that what you can learn or what we're going to learn in the equity markets. FD market may discuss key which bonds to invest, corporate bonds, government bonds, bank FDs. That's what going to cover in the bond market or FD market. And in equity market, we're going to discuss, shall we invest into cyclical companies like high risk companies or shall we invest into little less risky companies like ITC, HUL? That's what's going to cover in the equity market. Okay. Apart from that, in the equity market, we are also going to cover something called as technical analysis. Technical analysis in simple words is nothing but those charts. Support level, resistance level, candlestick diagrams, etc. So that 52-week high, 52-week low, head and shoulder pattern, etc. would also be covered in the equity subject. Then we would also cover in detail about commodities. The famous commodity that we have in India is gold. So we would understand that during which scenarios the gold prices shoots up and what are the reasons because of which the gold prices shoots up. So with gold, there is a storage cost. So gold is very, very costly to store. So we will analyze gold ka storage cost and there's one more element to it which we'll discuss subsequently, which is called as convenience yield, which we'll discuss when we look at that chapter. But the crux over here is that we will be analyzing the gold market and find out whether this is the right time to invest into gold or this is not the right time to invest into gold. In which markets, in which scenarios the gold will go up and in which scenarios the gold will go down. So commodity market analysis. We will also cover real estate market analysis. Real estate. Why do we have a separate chapter? Because in order to invest into real estate, you need to keep aside a huge chunk. For example, if I, let's say, just start my job and if I just start earning, then I might get a salary of, let's say, 20,000. So with 20,000, I can start investing into share market or I can start investing into bank FDs, but I cannot start investing into real estate because real estate में जो minimum required investment है, that could be in few lakhs. In Mumbai, few crores also. I mean, in few lakhs in Mumbai, you don't get a flat. So in Mumbai, few crores, but if I leave aside Mumbai, then in other parts of India, still you need to have few lakhs rupees to start investing into real estate. So major thing with the real estate is that the minimum required investment is huge. And one more thing, that there's a geographic risk. For example, when you invest your money into share market, your money is not geographically located at one place. Suppose I invest into Tata Motors. अब टाटा मोटर्स का फैक्ट्री ऑल ओवर इंडिया में है, तो अगर सपोज भोपाल में अर्थक्वेक आता है, then I may not get that much affected by the earthquake in Bhopal because my money is into Tata Motors and Tata Motors is not just located at Bhopal. However, on the contrary, if I have maybe a flat of 25 lakhs at Bhopal, and if there's an earthquake in Bhopal, then I may lose complete 25 lakhs at just one go. This is what is called a geographic concentration risk, where if you invest your money into real estate is geographically concentrated at one place, Bhopal. And if there's an earthquake in Bhopal, then entire 25 lakh rupees will go in few seconds. Obviously, there's an insurance against that. It's there, but if without insurance, then I will lose my 25 lakh rupees at one go. But if I invest my money into share market like Tata Motors, etc., then their factories are not just in Bhopal. It's there pan India. To be specific, it's there outside India also. So earthquake in Bhopal may not be that much material. It may not lead to that much of losses if I invest into share market. So with real estate, two things. One, minimum required investment, very large. And second, geographically, it's concentrated at one place. Okay. So apart from financial statement analysis, we're going to look at four things. Number one, equity market. Shall we invest into high risk companies or low risk companies? That is cyclical companies or defensive companies. Bond market. Shall we invest into corporate bond, government bonds, or bank FDs? All right. So that's what we're going to discuss. In the bond market, because you get a priority, just say Lakshmi Vilas Bank ke fixed deposit holders got a priority and RBI protected them, and hence they are not losing a single rupee. Similarly, in the bond market, you get a priority, you get a legal protection, and hence the losses in the bond market, risk in the bond market is quite lesser. Third, commodity. Specifically, I just give an example of gold, but we're going to discuss all other commodities also. So major thing with the commodities is storage cost. I spoke about gold, where gold is costly to store, but there are certain commodities which are not storable. For example, if I believe crude oil is going to increase, so I want to buy crude oil, but can I store crude oil? No. So there are certain commodities which are non-storable. So that's the more challenging part with commodity investing. And then comes real estate, which has its two problems. The minimum required investment is too huge. And second, the money is concentrated geographically at one place. Okay, so these are the four specific things we are going to discuss in the four subjects. Then the project analysis that we covered, that there would be a project. For example, I'm talking about, I hope you know कि बांद्रा वर्ली सीलिंग तो अभी complete हुआ है. So after Worli, they are going to go to Mahalakshmi, and from Mahalakshmi, they are going to connect a ceiling to the South Bombay. South Bombay means your Nariman point. So Bandra to Worli sea link is over. So now the sea link could be Worli to Mahalakshmi and Mahalakshmi to your Nariman point. For this, what would be the project cost? So we need to analyze what would the project cost. Okay, that's first thing. Second, after the project gets completed, for how many years we can collect the toll, and what would be the amount of toll per car, and on an average how many cars would be using that uh, ceiling in a period of 1 year. So based on that we can get to know how much toll revenue would be collected in 1 year. Number of cars passing using that ceiling multiplied by toll revenue per car will give you the toll collection in a year, and then you will get to know how many years you can collect the toll. So based on that, you can get to know how much would be the cash flow that would come from the tolls in the, how much cash flow will be collected from this project in the future. All right. So compare the project cost of creating the ceiling vis-a-vis the future toll revenues coming in the future. All right. This is what we are called as project analysis, which is covered in a subject called as corporate finance. All right. So corporate finance will cover this project analysis. Then, as I said, you are going to be advisor to the client. You will tell to the client that this is good, this stock is good, invest into this stock is not good, don't invest into this stock. So you are a portfolio manager or wealth manager of your client. So you need to analyze the risk-taking ability, risk-taking willingness of your client, and based on that, you need to advise to the client that which stocks are right investments, which stocks are not right investment. So we'll have subject of portfolio management also in detail. Okay. Over there, we will be learning some techniques of some ratios, which some of you might have heard about. So I'm just taking the names of those ratios. Sharpe ratio, R minus RF upon sigma. Apart from that, CAPM, capital asset pricing model. These are a few of the ratios that we're going to discuss in the subject of portfolio management. In the portfolio management, we are also going to discuss the elements of active management and passive management. What's the difference? If you believe that index, that is Nifty, is very awesome and hence it's not possible to beat it, it's not possible to do better than what Nifty is giving a return, then you try to copy paste Nifty, you try to replicate Nifty. This strategy, where you believe that index, that is Nifty or Sensex, whatever, is kind of awesome index and it's not possible to beat that index, then you try to copy paste that index. This strategy of copy pasting the index is called as passive investment. And then there are some clients who believe that index is not perfect. We can apply our mind and try to beat that index. That strategy which is used to beat the index is called as active management. So in the portfolio management, we'll discuss in which scenarios we should try to copy paste the index, that is we should try to invest passively, and in which scenarios we should try to invest actively. So that's portfolio management. And to obviously learn about this detailed, we need to know some basic subjects also. So the one basic subject that we're gonna CFA Institute has added in the syllabus is economics. In the economics, we have three things: micro, macro, and international. Micro is related to company specific. कि अगर कंपनी ने अपने प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस इंक्रीज कर दिया, so if the prices increase, obviously demand is going to go down. But will demand go down by minuscule amount or will demand go down drastically? If prices increase, demand has to go down. But will demand go down by a very small amount or will demand go down drastically? We want to know how sensitive the demand is to change in the price. That's demand sensitivity to change in price is called as elasticity. Okay. Have you heard about elasticity? Just raise hand. Anyone heard about elasticity? Yeah, because it might be there in your syllabus. So when in your graduation syllabus, so when the prices increase, obviously demand is bound to go down. But will demand go down by very small amount or will demand go down drastically? That's what is demand sensitivity to changes in the price, which is called as elasticity. That's covered in micro. Macro covers GDP, gross domestic product, gross national product. The differences between GDP and GNP are covered in the macro. Apart from that, monetary policy of RBI, fiscal policy of government of India, inflation rate, then unemployment rate, business cycles is covered in macro. I repeat, monetary policy, fiscal policy, GDP, business cycle, inflation rate, unemployment rate. These are the things which are going to be covered in macro. Macro means it affects overall economy. So for example, if RBI reduces the interest rate, it not only affects Tata Motors, but it also affects State Bank of India. It also affects Cipla. It also affects each and every company in India. Similarly, if government increases tax rate, then that increased tax rate would be applicable to each and every company in India. So be it RBI reducing the interest rate or be it government reducing the tax rate. RBI reducing the interest rate is monetary policy. Government reducing tax rate is fiscal policy. This is going to be applicable to all companies all over India. Hence, it's a part of your macroeconomics. International talks about trade. International talks about capital investments made by Indians abroad. So if I invest into Facebook share, that's covered in international economics. And if foreign investors invest into State Bank of India, that's international economics. That's by the way, it's also called as your capital account. Okay. So when you invest abroad or foreigners invest in your companies, that's called as capital account. So we have trade, we have capital account and currency. In 2010, the $1 was somewhere around rupees 50. And now in 2020, $1 has appreciated to rupees 75. What happened? Why did dollar appreciate from rupees 50 to rupees 75? What factors contributed to dollar appreciation? What were the factors that could lead to $1 from rupees 75 either go back to rupees 50 or go up to rupees 100 by the end of 2030? So by the end of 2030, where will the $1 be? Will it be at rupees 50 or will it be at rupees 100? That's international economics. Okay, so economics, micro, macro, and international. Then we have a subject of cons, which commerce students consider that this is mathematics. No, this is not mathematics. I'm going to talk about this subject of cons little later because I know specific students from the commerce side, they have a little bit of fear about this subject. So I'm going to speak about this subject little later. But I repeat, this is not mathematics, it's cons and it's not that difficult. It's quite manageable. It's not that difficult as you're thinking. From a student from a commerce side just thinks that it's maths, it's going to be too tough. It's not that tough that you're thinking about it. And why so? We'll discuss that when we discuss about that section. And then there is not a subject of law. I mean, there could have been a subject of law, but there is no subject of law. The reason is this exam is taken by international students. It's taken by Indian students also, Chinese students also, Pakistani students also, American students also. And the laws of America, laws of Pakistan, laws of India, laws of China are different. And hence, they couldn't introduce the subject of law. So instead of law, they have introduced the subject of business ethics, which prima facie looks to be very, very, very easy and students take it very, very lightly. However, this is the subject which is very tricky. You will get to know why when you start studying about ethics a little later. It looks like ethics में क्या है? जो लगता है करना चाहिए वो नहीं करना है. Okay, that's what the human का greed is कि हाँ मतलब चोरी करना is unethical, obviously. Stealing is unethical. So it's not that simple about business ethics in CFA. You'll get to know about it. Right now I can't explain about it कि why is it's so tricky. You'll get to know once you start reading the ethics of it. So that's the whole syllabus of CFA, which we covered approximately in half an hour. Okay. Any doubts in the syllabus of CFA? Quickly, just raise hand. I'll answer quick questions about the syllabus of CFA. All right. Yes, Faisal. Faisal, yeah, quickly. All right, by mistake. All right, no problem. So that was the part one of our session, that what is the syllabus of CFA. Part two, we're going to cover how is this course of CFA is different from the course of Chartered Accounting. At the start only, I just mentioned about it, but now I'm going to speak in detail how is this course different from CA. So CA is about financial report making. It's about accounting. Accounting means how to make financial reports is covered in CA. And in CFA, the focus is on how to analyze the financial reports. So entire focus of CFA is about analysis of financial report, and main focus of CA is about making the financial report. Please note, CA is just not just about making financial report. It has other elements also. So it also has financial report analysis also, but that's a kind of add-on. The main focus of a CA is about accounting, which is making of financial reports. All right. You will have financial report analysis in CA also, but that just add on, that may not be in that much of depth as what is covered in CFA. So in nutshell, CA is about accounting. CA is about tax. CA is about law. CA is about IT, and CA is also about finance. So I repeat, CA is about accounting, CA is about tax, CA is about law, CA is about IT, and CA is also about finance. Whereas CFA is only about finance. In CFA, you will not find audit, account, tax, law, IT. You will only find finance. So CFA is a specialized course in finance. CA is specialized course in accounting, but apart from accounting, you will also get to know about tax, law, IT, and finance. All right. In CFA, there are 3 levels. In CA, also there are 3 levels. CFA के लिए इसको बोला जाता है level 1, level 2, level 3, and CA में it's called as your enter or CPT or entrance level exam or CPT, then intermediate IPCC, and then your final. Now look at the main difference. The main difference over here is that in CFA, each level has a value on the resume. So for example, once you clear your level 1, then you can mention on your resume that I have cleared level 1 and now I'll be appearing for level 2. So clearing of level 1, clearing of level 2 will have a good amount of value on your resume. How much value? I'll talk about that packages in a while. But the intermediate level clearing does create a value on the resume. So it's not like it has 3 levels. So only after clearing level 3, my course is complete, then only I can start looking for a job. No. After clearing level 1, you have a good kind of qualification on your resume. With that, you can start looking for a job. Level 2, obviously you're more qualified now, so you can get a little better job. And level 3, the course is complete, so now you'll be getting the best opportunities. In CA, the CPT and the intermediate levels do not have actually any value addition on the resume. CA का value तब होता है when you clear it the final level. Without clearing the final level, if you just drop out of CA in the middle, that is after clearing the CPT or after clearing the intermediate, then that course, that intermediate level does not have really any value on the resume. So that's major difference, that in CFA is level 1, level 2, level 3, individual levels are having a value, but in CA, the final has value. CA, because apart from the finance, it considers other subjects also. That exam is kind of little difficult as compared to CFA exam. CFA, because it's only about finance, so that's little easier. CA is not only about finance, it has lots and lots of elements. So it's a very, 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 very vast exam. And that's the reason the CA exam is quite difficult. And the major problem is the CA exam ka difficulty is realized by the student only in the final level. It's an exam which is too easy. It's a course which is too easy to enter because entry level CPT is quite easy. IPCC slightly becomes tougher, but it's manageable. And the most tough level is the final level. And if you don't clear that, then the CA course is not going to create any value to your resume. A CA course creates a value in your resume only when you clear the final level. That's a sad part of it. The CA, it's easy to enter because the level 1 of CA, level 2 of CA, that is entry and IPCC are little easier. The final level is tough. But as CA is a tough exam, the total package that students get after clearing that tough final level is around 1 to 1.5 lakh higher than what CFA level 3 guy gets. I repeat, as CA is a very vast exam, and hence the CA final is a little tougher, and that's the reason on an average the package that a CA final cleared guy gets is around 1.5 lakh higher as compared to CFA. I'm going to cover what are the package that CFA gives compared to in each level. I'm going to speak about that. But in just looking at comparison of CFA versus CA, so CFA would have around 1.5 lakh lesser package as compared to CA, because CA is a very tough exam. Passing rate is quite low, and that's the reason, and it's tough, the package that CA guys get on an average is slightly around 1.5 lakhs, little higher. Apart from that, none of these exams, neither CA nor CFA, focuses on the soft skills. What do you mean by soft skills? The oral communication, the written communication, the group discussion, how do you participate in the group, how do you speak effectively, that soft skills is neither covered in CFA nor covered in CA. Okay. About the duration, CFA is little shorter as compared to CA. And the reason for that is CA has this compulsorily articleship, internship. Without that, you cannot take a CA final. So for CA final, you have to have that internship. Without that, you can't take a CA final. CFMA, there is level 1, level 2, level 3, which you can take it without any experience. I'll talk about the entrance requirement later on, but there's no internship requirement to clear the final level. However, after you clear the final level, there is an option. It's not a compulsion. There's an option of applying for a charter. Charter is a certificate which you have option to apply for. It's not compulsion to apply for it. If you want to apply for the charter, then you should have 4 years of experience. Please note, 4 years of work experience is not required to write level 1, level 2, and level 3. So you can write level 1, level 2, level 3 without doing any articleship. Okay, you can do that along with your job, or level 1 could be taken in your final year of graduation. Level 2 and level 3 can be taken only after you become graduate. So after you become graduate, you can take that with your job. Okay, so you don't need to do any articleship or internship. More on the eligibility criteria later, but the point over here is that CA is a little longer course because of that internship requirement. CFA is a shorter course because that internship requirement is not there. Although for charter, which is optional, by the way, it's not compulsory, you will be required to have 4 years of experience. After clearing level 3, you may decide to opt for a charter. But clearing level 1, level 2, level 3 would be a little shorter period of time as compared to what you will see in CA. Okay, so I believe I've covered CFA versus CA in a quite exhaustive manner. But if you believe that I have missed out something, you may just raise hand and ask me a question on that, which you believe I have missed out in CFA versus CA. Yes, Harsh. Yes, Harsh.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, as you said that the CA course has got a minor subject of financial analysis.
Yes.
Whether CFA has got a minor subject into accounts or not?
No, CFA is only into finance. It has no subject of accounting. It is only into financial statement analysis. It does not have accounting. It does not have the golden rules of accounting. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. It's not there.
So one more question.
Yeah.
Whether someone with sufficient and sound knowledge of the legalities of accounting is pursuing CFA.
Can I take that little later, because right now I'm focusing on CFA versus CA.
Sure.
I'll just take that little later.
Sure.
Right? I'll come back to Harsh later on. Yes, Piyush, you can enable your audio. Devyan, you can enable your audio and ask a question related to CFA versus CA. Or it looks like they are not able to enable their audio. So I'll take their questions later on. So this was about CFA versus CA. I hope I have addressed in as detailed as possible. If you're still further queries, you can ask me later on. So Devan has asked, what's the difference between someone getting a charter and who doesn't? Technically, no difference. In India, if you clear level 3 and then you offer that optional charter or you don't offer optional charter, there is no difference. And that's why I didn't emphasize that charter wala thing, for which you have to have 4 years of experience. That charter is optional. That charter does not really have that much of value. And that's it, that 4 years of work experience is not really that something which you need to pay attention to. At least in India, the charter really doesn't have that much of value. All right. So part 3, we're going to cover CFA versus MBA. And over here, you need to be really paying your attention, because the cost elements are going to be very important when I look about MBA finance. So I'm covering CFA versus MBA finance. CFA ka total cost would be somewhere around 2 lakh. We'll see the cost structure of CFA later on. We have not yet covered it, but we'll see it's around 2 lakh rupees without scholarship. With scholarship, it will be lesser than 2 lakh, much lesser than 2 lakh. But suppose if I don't get scholarship, then 2 lakh rupees would be the total fees of a CFA course. MBA finance course, the total fees of an MBA finance course is huge. The fees itself would be approximately around 10 lakh rupees in a private college. But apart from 10 lakh rupees, to pursue the MBA, you have to quit the job for 2 years, because it's a 2 years MBA course. So with that 2 years of salary that you could have earned is not, you are not going to, you have to sacrifice that. So let's say I was getting 2.5 lakh rupees per annum. Minimum the 2.5 lakh rupees per annum is possible for any graduate to earn. So 1 year 2.5 lakh, 2 years 5 lakh, 5 lakh rupees of salary has to be sacrificed. And on top of that, 10 lakh rupees of fees has to be incurred. So the total cost of MBA is 15 lakhs. Compare that with CFA. CFA is a little cheaper. But that doesn't mean that I should only look at the cost. I should also look at what are the placement opportunities, what is the package that I'm going to get after clearing the CFA, and what will I get after clearing the MBA. Now, when I discuss what package I will get after clearing MBA, over there, I need to ask which MBA. So no, I'm not talking about which MBA means MBA Finance or MBA HR. I'm talking about MBA Finance only. But in MBA Finance, I need to ask which college. A tier 1 college, a tier 2 college, or a tier 3 college. Rank 1 college, rank 2 college, or rank 3 college. Rank 1 college is like IIMs, the old IIMs, the old 7 IIMs I'm talking about. So these are the tier 1 colleges. Add to that list would be XLRI, in Mumbai SPJN, NITI, Jamnalaj Bajaj, uh, NMIMS. These are all tier 1 colleges. Tier 2 colleges are like Somaya, Wellinger, etc. are the tier 2 colleges. And tier 3 colleges are all those colleges whose name you don't know when you're preparing for CAT. In case you get lower percentiles, then you understand that tier 1 and tier 2 is not possible. Then you start exploring the names of the tier 3 colleges. So which are MBA colleges, which names you're not able to recollect right now because they are not that really good. Those all are tier 3 MBA colleges. I wouldn't want to take a name over here because I don't want to take the reduce the by speaking out that this is a tier 3 college. I don't want to defame them. But in simple words, whichever colleges that you never want to apply for when you're preparing for a CAT exam, but unfortunately, in case you don't get a good score, then you have to let go the tier 1 and tier 2 colleges because it's not possible for you with a lower score. Then you think about those other etc. wala colleges. Those are tier 3 colleges. So let me compare CFA with tier 1. By the way, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, although the placement opportunities, packages would be different, but one thing is common, and that's fees. all the colleges will have the same fees, around 10 to 15 lakh would be the fees. So the total cost would remain same whether you are doing an MBA from tier 1 college, tier 2 college or tier 3 colleges. All right. Some colleges may actually have a more than 10 lakhs fees, but I'm saying on an average, let's पकड़ लो 10 लाख का फीस होगा, 10 लाख से ज्यादा ही होता है, so पकड़ लो 15 लाख का फीस है and 5 lakh का salary loss, so around 20 lakh rupees could be considered as the fees of MBA. All right, so 20 lakh rupees versus CFA ka 2 lakh rupees. Looks like CFA is cheaper, but we have to look for the other things also. So let's look at CFA versus tier 1 MBA. CFA 2 lakhs, MBA from tier 1 20 lakhs, but still MBA from tier 1 is much better as compared to CFA. Why so? MBA from tier 1 will give you an average package of at least around 20 lakhs. So when you're from I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore, etc., the average package itself would be around 20 lakhs. Means in 1 year, you will be able to easily cover up your cost, and then every year you'll be earning at least like 20 lakhs. So compare that with the CFA. So in CFA, on an average package that you get after clearing all 3 levels is somewhere in the range of around 7 to 8 lakhs. Let me call it 7.5 lakh on an average. So 7.5 lakh vis-a-vis 20 lakhs. Clear winner is 20 lakhs of tier 1 MBA. So does that mean that if I'm going to try for tier 1 MBA, I shouldn't do CFA? Does that mean so? Answer is no. Some of you today or in this period, you might be writing CAT. How many of you are writing CAT? Just raise hand. CAT or any other entrance exam. In the next month, you might be writing your SNAP, ZAT, etc. Those entrance exam. And then February, March, you might be writing your CET. With those entrance exam, if you are targeting a tier 1 college, then please right now focus on that purpose, focus on that objective, because that objective is very important, because tier 1 MBA is much better than a CFA. However, that doesn't mean that a CFA is going to be useless. I'll explain you why. After you get done with the objective of getting into a tier 1 MBA college, for example, I'm Ahmedabad. After you get secure a good percentile in CAT and you clear GDPI and now you are into IIM Ahmedabad, then you realize that although you have, I mean, from the nation, you are among the top 60 guys to break into the IIM Ahmedabad. Once you are there, then you realize that you have 59 other peoples in your batch to compete. Now it's quite clear that once you are in IIM Ahmedabad, you are going to get 20 lakh rupees sure shot from the placements. But there will be too many companies which will offer 20 lakh rupees of package. And there will be some companies which will come and offer international placements with 50, 60, 70 lakhs ka package. So there will be a lot of TCS, a lot of Infosys, there will be a lot of Accenture, there's a lot of L&T Infotech, which will offer 20 lakh rupees of package. But there will be few companies like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America will come and offer 60 lakh rupees of package. And obviously you want 60 lakhs and not 20 lakhs. So to earn those higher packages, you should try to differentiate yourself from the other 59 students of the batch. And that's where CFA course could add value. So CFA course is not going to be required to break into the IMs. To break into IMs, CFA could help you in your GDPI rounds. But the main thing that you should prioritize is your is your CAT MBA entrance exams. That is what you should target. We should prioritize. After that is done, after your seat is secured, then you should try to, before your college starts. So generally the college starts in June. So maybe you can try to take a CFA exam in May or August, something like that, so that you differentiate yourself from the other batchmates, so that when that Goldman Sachs, that Bank of America, that DBS Singapore, if that comes for offering a 60 lakh rupees, then you get highlighted from the rest of the batch. Okay, so 20 lakh तो मिलने वाला है, लेकिन 60 lakh के लिए try करना है, and जिसके लिए for that the CFA would be a differentiator. If I compare CFA with MBA from tier 2 colleges like Somaiya and Wellinker, my college, I'm from Somaiya, I'm from a tier 2 MBA college. So if I compare CFA with MBA finance from tier 2 colleges, कॉस्ट सीएफए का 2 लाख, एमबीए फाइनेंस का 15 लाख प्लस 5 लाख का जो सैलरी लॉस होगा वो 20 lakhs. If I look at the packages that Somaya Velinkar gives, they're slightly more as compared to what CFA will give. CFA gives around 7.5 lakh. Somaya and Velinkar will give somewhere around 8, 8.5, 9 lakhs, etc. Do not go by the placement brochure. Placement brochure of Somaya and Velinkar may read that we give package of 12, 13, 14 lakhs. That's not a reality. The reality is you go and ask someone like alumni like me, you'll get to know the true picture of the tier 2 MBA colleges. They give packages in the range of 8 to 10 lakhs. Slightly better as compared to your CFA. So if you have a money criteria because of which you cannot do a MBA finance from tier 2, then you should pursue CFA. But if you have a kind of money backing from your parents, that parents can afford your fees, or you yourself can afford your fees by taking the education loan, then you should consider taking MBA finance. Why so? Agar package is more or less same, then why so? Because MBA finance में average package मैंने बोला है 8 to 10 lakh है. That 8 to 10 lakh was average package in Soman Wellington. Since Soman Verinka, the TCS, Infosys, Accenture, L&T will come and you are going to get short 8 to 10 lakh package. However, there would be Bank of America, there will be Goldman Sachs, which we call it dream company. There will be few dream companies which will come and then they will offer a package of 15 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakh. Not 60 lakhs, but 20 lakh they do offer a package. And these companies will not be too many, there will be a handful of few companies. So when those few companies comes and they offer a package of 20 lakh, obviously you want to differentiate yourself from the rest of the batchmates. And that's where CFA could come handy. So when I'm comparing CFA with MBA finance from tier 2 colleges, rank 2 colleges, I have two kind of recommendations to you. If you could afford the fees of MBA finance from tier 2 colleges, go ahead and then do CFA to differentiate yourself from the rest of the batch so that you increase your chances of getting into the Goldman Sachs and the Bank of America to get a package of 20 lakh, which is much better than the average package of 8 to 10 lakhs. And my second recommendation to you is that if you cannot afford the fees of MBA finance from tier 2 college, don't get disheartened. The average package over there is 8 to 10 lakh, but average package in CFA is around 7.5 lakhs. Not bad, right? I mean, just around 1 lakh lesser. But the cost is substantially lesser, 2 lakh versus 20 lakh. So if 20 lakhs of MBA fees is not affordable, it's okay, don't get disheartened. CFA has good amount of package, which is not higher, but at least around just 1 lakh lesser as compared to what MBA finance tier 2 will on an average will give you. Then CFA with MBA finance from tier 3 colleges. All those colleges whose names you are unheard about because they are not that good, they are bad colleges. Fees is still same, 15 lakh. Add that 5 lakh rupees of low salary, together cost becomes 20 lakh, CFA just 2 lakhs. If I talk about the placements, in tier 1 and tier 2, 100% placement is there. In tier 3 also 100% placement is there, but that's there only in the admission brochure, not in the actual reality. In the actual reality, the 100% placement is not there in tier 3 MBA colleges. The actual placement would be around 60-70% only. So consider you are spending 2 years of your life, you are spending 20 lakh rupees and then there is no 100% placement. And those who are getting placed, you will be disheartened to look at the packages. The average packages could be ranging in the range of 3 lakh to 5 lakh, sometimes 3 lakh to 6 lakhs, but not above 6 lakhs. The average packages of tier 3 MBA colleges are in the range of 3 lakh to 6 lakhs. I mean, it's so low that spending 20 lakh rupees into such colleges is not at all worth. So even if you could financially afford it, even if you could financially afford the 20 lakh rupees of fees for MBA finance, but if you can't get into tier 1 and tier 2, I will request you to not enroll for tier 3 MBA colleges. If you want, you can try another attempt of CAT. But please do not spend your money on tier 3 MBA colleges. It's a trap. It's a complete waste of money. It does not create at all any value on your resume. I cannot take the names of tier 3 MBA colleges. You know which are the tier 3 MBA colleges. In those colleges, the fees is same like a tier 1, tier 2 colleges, but the placement opportunities, there's no 100% placement, and the average placement, average remuneration, average salary is in the range of 3 to 5 lakh. Compare that with CFA. CFA would have lower cost of 2 lakh rupees, but the packages would be around 7.5 lakh rupees, which is much better than what a MBA finance from tier 3 will have. But what is there in the CFA, which is not there in the MBA finance, is that a CFA is not that easy as compared to MBA finance from tier 3. Getting into MBA finance from tier 3 is also easy, and passing is also easy, because MBA finance from tier 3 is not a really good college. So getting into is also easy, and passing out of that college is also easy. But CFA is not that easy, and that's the reason the package of CFA is better as compared to what a package of a tier 3 MBA finance would have. All right. So to summarize, if you are targeting and if you believe that you are having a potential to crack into tier 1 MBA colleges, prioritize that objective. Once that objective is achieved, to differentiate yourself from other batchmates who may earn 20 lakh and you want to earn 60 lakhs, to differentiate yourself from rest of batchmates, do CFA course so that you differentiate, you have something extra on your resume. If you are targeting a tier 2 colleges because you believe tier 1 is too difficult to enter, in that case, depends on your financial budget. If you have a financial budget, then do surely try for MBA finance. And to differentiate yourself from rest of the batch or batchmates who might be earning 8 to 10 lakhs, if you want to earn around like 20 lakhs of package, to differentiate, to target those some companies which may come and offer you 20 lakh rupees of package, for that, differentiate yourself from others by doing the CFA course. Or for those people who cannot afford the fees of MBA finance from tier 2 institutes, I would say CFA is not a bad choice. Lower fees, 2 lakh rupees of fees, with scholarship actually it's actually even much lower than that. And secondly, the package is around 7.5 lakh, whereas the package in the case of MBA finance from tier 2 college is around 8 to 10 lakhs. So not bad. So if you do not have a financial budget to do MBA finance from tier 2 college, don't get disheartened. CFA has good amount of opportunities. And CFA with tier 3 MBA, please not even think about tier 3 MBA. CFA is much a bigger winner compared to MBA finance from tier 3 institute. Right. So that's kind of sum up the CFA versus MBA finance discussion. However, I just want to add something to it, that as I said, CFA versus CA discussion, mein, that CFA does not cover soft skills, nor CA covers soft skills. Like how do you participate in a group? Uh, how do you express your thoughts? How do you do public speaking? How do you do group work? Is not covered in CFA and CA. CFA and CA are kind of individual courses where you can sit at one place, do not interact with anyone, you mind your own business, and then you can clear these courses. But in MBA, you cannot clear MBA just by minding your own business, because in MBA, there'll be a lot of group assignments. There'll be a lot of project works, which requires you to interact with other batchmates, and then automatically makes you extrovert. That automatically builds your personality. So that's a good thing about MBA finance. Be it tier 1, be it tier 2, be it tier 3. In all the MBA finance colleges, there will be group work. And because of that, you will have to interact with others, and automatically your personality develops. So if you have a problem in speaking English, that automatically will be kind of over. So truly, even I wasn't that fluent speaker of English when I was into my MBA. I became fluent speaker of English because of the interactions that I did, especially with those colleagues who couldn't understand Hindi. So I had few colleagues who were from South. The Telugus and the Mallu people don't understand Hindi. So the only way to interact with these guys were English, and that's how this fluence in English worked out. So MBA finance would help you to develop your personality. CFA and CA will give you knowledge of accounting or knowledge of finance. CFA, finance knowledge, CA, accounting knowledge, but they will not help you to grow, to build up your personality. Please note this personality building is not just required in marketing. That's a kind of wrong perception that students have. कि मुझे personality develop करके marketing job थोड़ी करना है. Please note that only market मतलब ये जो sales agent होते हैं सिर्फ उनको soft skill की जरूरत नहीं होती है. Even investment bankers, they need to have soft skills. Why so? Understand when you as an investment banker is going to take an interview of a management. So when I'm going to talk to a CEO, तो सीईओ के साथ आप गप्पे तो नहीं कर सकते. सीईओ आपको सिर्फ 5 मिनट देगा. तो 5 मिनट में आपको सीईओ का ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछने हैं जिसका वो सीईओ डिप्लोमेटिक नहीं बट टू द पॉइंट आंसर दे सकता है. सीईओ शुड नॉट बी काइंड ऑफ बुलिंग यू. The management of the company should give you precise information. So you should ask such questions where you get the precise answers. That's where the personality development, which is covered in MBA Finance, does matter. I hope I could give a lot of justice to CFA versus MBA. But if you believe that I have missed out something, do raise hand. Individual questions, I'll take it later on. Like personal questions, I'll take it later on. But if you believe I missed out something, do raise hand. Yes, Jerome. Yes, Jerome. Please ask your question. Jerome or Debian or Dhruv, you guys have raised hand. One of you can ask your question.
So I wanted to ask if we can complete our CFA course and then go for an MBA.
Yes, you can do that, but it's not kind of advisable. As I told you that if it is about tier one or tier two, then you should prioritize getting into the MBA college first because that's going to be more important as compared to doing a CFA course. So if it is going to be that you are going to do both the courses, then I would say that try to get the most important thing out first. That is get into a tier one MBA college or tier two MBA college, and then you can look at the CFA course. But let's say, Debian, let me enable you. I disabled you. I'm so sorry. Uh, Suppose, okay, you're there. Okay, fine. Suppose for some reasons, for the next 2 years, I cannot do MBA. There could be some financial reasons because of which I'm not able to do MBA, or I want to get work experience and then want to do MBA. In that case, during the time when I'm going to get that work experience, I should also try to do CFA. So for some reason, if I'm going to not do MBA for the next 1 or 2 years, then that 1 or 2 years, apart from the work experience, I should also try to do at least level one or level one and level two of CFA. Is that clear, Debian? Debian or Dhruv, I think, who
Yeah,
asked it?
like how to go about it if you want to do the MBA first and like how to do MBA and CFA simultaneously.
As I told you, so first you should, sorry, I disabled you. So first you should focus on your MBA entrance. If you're going to do MBA first and then CFA later, focus on your MBA entrance exam thoroughly. Do not even get thoughts of CFA. I mean, get done with your MBA entrance exam. Then once you are done with that, when you're preparing for your GDPI, then simultaneously you can start preparing for your CFA level one. It's possible to do CFA level one before your MBA college starts because generally the MBA entrance exams happen in the period of November to December. So after the MBA entrance exam gets done, college is going to open in the month of June. So there is a lot of time in between which you can use to prepare for CFA along with GDPI. If you believe that May is too early, then you can target August. But only problem of August is at that time your college would have opened, so it could be a little difficult to manage the both things because generally the MBA college would be a little intense in the first 6 to 7 months. After that, doing MBA and CFA simultaneously is quite possible. And a quite evident example of that is me. I have myself done CFA and MBA parallelly. I have done MBA from Somaya, and while doing MBA from Somaya, I have cleared level 1 and level 2 of CFA. So it's quite possible to do MBA and CFA together, but not in the first 7 or 8 months of MBA because first 7 to 8 months of MBA are quite intense. After that, it becomes kind of manageable to do MBA with CFA. Although MBA is full time, you do get a lot of time during your full time MBA, which that time you could use efficiently to do CFA. Is that clear, Debian? Debian, is it clear? And others?
Yes, it's clear.
All right, Dhruv, you can ask your question, please.
Yeah, that's it. That's all
Okay,
I wanted to.
okay, fine. So I hope I gave a justice to CFA versus MBA. If you have any further questions which you believe are not addressed, you can put that in the last discussion that we're going to happen later on. All right. Next is we're going to discuss about the main question that student asked me. The students from the engineering background asked me. Engineering and science background students ask me this question. Ki, sir, I'm from technical background. I'm from engineering background. I'm from science background. I have absolutely no idea about accounting. CFA, will I be able to do that? Because I have absolutely no idea about accounts. Can I manage CFA? The answer is yes, because CFA, as I told earlier, is not about accounting. It's not about making those financial reports. Financial report making is called as accounting, and that's a speciality of a commerce student. A commerce student loves accounting. A commerce students will be very very happy. You can see the happiness in the on the faces of commerce students when the balance sheet tallies. I mean, you can relate. I mean, if you have some commerce students, ask them the kind of happiness that they get when the balance sheet tallies. That tally of balance sheet, that debit what comes in, credit what goes out, those golden rules of accounting are not there in CFA, because CFA is not an accounting course. It's a course where financial reports need to be read and analyzed. But obviously, to read financial report, you should know what is there in the financial report. So जो accounting का final stage है, financial report, उसका एक basic language you should know. So you should know that how is income statement different from balance sheet, and how is balance sheet different from cash flow statement. How is expense different from capitalize? What is a creditor? How is it different from debtor? तो ये जो बेसिक टर्म्स है, क्रेडिटर, डेटर, एक्सपेंस, कैपिटलाइज, इनकम स्टेटमेंट, बैलेंस शीट, कैश फ्लो, you should be able to know it. जैसे we know about Newton's first law. So we know about Newton. We know E equal to mc square. We know F is equal to ma. So similarly, in the same language, we should know what is the difference between creditor and debtor, what is the difference between expense and capitalize. So basic, at least, of accounting should be required to be clear. So in our classes, we keep that course as free. So we cover around 3 to 4 hours of sessions with the engineering and the science background students, where we help them to know the basic terminologies of accounts, which we call it Latin and Greeks of accounts. So where we cover this basic thing here, we will take a just a simple example of a company as simple as Parle-G, and then from the scratch we will try to help student to understand how is income statement different from balance sheet, and how is that different from cash flow statement. So if you want to see that session, it's there in our YouTube page. I'll help you out after the session gets over. Just get in touch with me. I'll tell you the link for that particular session. Just go through it, and your basic terminologies of accounting will get clear. And then you are at no more disadvantage. Yes, you will be from science background or engineering background, but you will be able to easily manage the CFA course, because it's not about accounting, it's about finance analysis. And being from an engineering or being from a science background, your analytical skills are really good. And I can say that because I'm from an engineering background. I have done my engineering, then did my MBA and CFA. So as an engineering, I can say that engineering guys and science guys ka analytical minds, analytical, the way in which their minds works analytically is quite superior, and that is going to help you in the CFA course. But basics of accounting pata hona chahiye. So uske liye wo that the Latin and Greeks of accounting, that link, which is we call it foundation to accounts. Please get in touch with me. I'll give you that link. Study that. Your basics of accounting will get clear. So yes, it's manageable to do CFA even if you are not from a core accounting background, because CFA is not about accounting, it's about finance. I hope it's clear. Any doubts in this perspective? Manan, your doubts in this perspective?
No, sir, I had doubt in previous perspective. Actually, I wanted to ask that whether CFA will act as an value after completing MBA in finance or not.
Yes, it will, because it will help you to differentiate yourself from others. So be it during MBA, be it after MBA, it will help you to differentiate yourself from others who have just done MBA. So compared to that, MBA plus CFA would showcase case that you have more inclination towards finance and more you have covered a course of finance which is a specialized course in finance. So the knowledge of finance that you get in CFA is much more depth as compared to the knowledge of finance that you get in MBA finance. So I'm sorry I didn't address that point. I'm sorry I didn't address that point earlier when I was speaking about CFA versus MBA finance. The knowledge of finance that you get in CFA is much more in depth as compared to the knowledge of finance that you get in MBA finance. So when
Okay,
you do
sir.
CFA along with MBA, the knowledge of finance will be superior. So you will be able to differentiate yourself from others.
Okay, sir. Thank
Many students from commerce side, ask us that we are not so good with mathematics, and CFA has a subject of mathematics. So will we be able to clear this course? I have left mathematics in 11th standard. I find mathematics to be very, very tough. Will I be able to manage CFA course? So initially when I started teaching, because I'm from an engineering background, so I was kind of thinking this thing was very new to me, that maths is very difficult and will I be able to manage CFA course? So I did a little bit of a research on this, and then I actually spoke to a lot of commerce students to find out why do they find maths difficult, and tried to explain that CFA में maths नहीं है concept. But that's not important. The first part is important. Why do the commerce students find maths difficult? And I got to know the answers. What are the things in the maths that commerce students find difficult? They are, I'm just putting them on the screen. I'll just open the screen and just try to put that on the screen. Sorry. Okay, I just wanted a blank screen. Okay. So the things that students find, the commerce students find tough in the maths are like this. This is called as integration. This is called as derivative. This is matrices. This is determinants. This is limits and probability. These are the things that students find, commerce students find tough in the subject of mathematics. All right. And now when I talk about CFA, in CFA, there is a subject of cons. There is no mathematics. Cons is different from mathematics. Let me help you out what is there in the cons, and then you will realize that fear that you have that CFA will be too difficult because of maths element, that automatically will get over. What is there in the con subject, not mathematics, con subject? First one is called as time value of money, which is nothing but simple interest rate and compound interest rate. Now, everyone I think will know about the formula for the simple interest rate, PNR, principal into number of years into rate. Compound interest rate, P into 1 plus R raised to N. So when 100 rupees will be compounded at a rate of 6% for 5 years, it will grow and become 100 into 1 plus 6% raised to 5. All right, 100 principal into 1 plus R, 1 plus 6% raised to N raised to 5. This is time value of money. This is one thing which is there in the subject of cons. Second thing, statistics. So in statistics, you have those bar charts which are seen in the Excel. I hope you know those bar charts in Excel. Let me just draw them. And these were there in our school days also. Do you know the names of these graphs? Yeah, you got it right. Some of you mentioned it right. It's called as histograms. All right. So we have histograms, which is statistical analysis, which is quite easy. Frequency distribution table, histograms. Statistics is average, that is called as mean, mode, median. So mean matlab x1 plus x2 by 2. Mode, number which repeats maximum number of times. So that particular number which repeats itself at maximum frequency, that's mode. So mean, mode, median, histograms, etc., statistics, quite easily manageable. All right. Then comes the third topic, which could be a little bit of problematic or which you may think is a little bit difficult. Yes, it is difficult. That is probability, but not as difficult that you might be thinking. The reason is the probability which was seen in the 11th and the 12th standard, which you, and for that matter, even me also as an engineer also, still I found that probability of 11th and 12th standard little difficult, was because it was related to non-finance wala thing. If you recollect your 11th and 12th standard probability, it was about cards, it was about dices. Now, the probability that you will see in the CFA would be about probability of economy coming out of recession or probability of economy going into recession, probability of stock market rising or probability of stock market crashing down, probability of DBS India getting benefit out of LBB, or probability of Yes Bank ka stock price rising above $20. Since a lot of time it is around $14-15, so probability of Yes Bank का stock rising about $20. These are the real life event जिसका probability के बारे में will be discussing, and that's the reason the probability discussion is going to be more practical. I'm not saying it's going to be easy compared to other topics like compounding, time value of money, statistics. Students from the commerce side may find the probability a little difficult. In probability also, there are a lot of concepts which are easy. But yes, there are certain concepts which you may find difficult. But because it's connected to practical life, you may not find it like something which is very impossible or something manageable, but difficult. Then in course, you have some things which is called as some tables, something called a Z table, T table, which is also very easy. All right. And then there's one topic which is kind of a little difficult, which is called as hypothesis testing. So in the subject of cons, you have two subtopics which could be a little bit of or kind of little difficult. Those are hypothesis testing and probability. All right. Apart from that, rest of the cons is kind of easily manageable. And what makes it more manageable is a kind of a tool which is looks like this, called as financial calculator, BA2 plus financial calculator, which is a calculator which is a kind of awesome friend of ours, which will help us to do a lot of calculations with ease. So we do have a session for you guys. I know you have a lot of phobia, commerce students have a lot of phobia about mathematics. Although I get to the root of it to find out what is that phobia about. It was about d by dx, integration, limits, and ये सारा चीज नहीं है. There's no limits, there's no matrices, there's no determinant, there's no integration, there's no d by dx in CFA. There is probability. However, that probability is practical life related probability, so it's not going to be that impossibly difficult. Okay, so time value of money, statistics, and the Z table, etc., quite easily manageable. Probability and hypothesis testing, slightly difficult, but manageable. Like for engineers, we have foundation to account session, which will clarify the basics of accounts. For you guys also, we have foundation to maths or foundation to financial calculator. Both, because with maths, financial calculator is a tool which is there in CFA. So your foundation to maths or foundation to financial calculator session. If you want to see that, get in touch with me. I'll send you the link. Go through that. You will be able to get over your phobia of mathematics. You will find that whatever cons is there in CFA, it's quite manageable. All right. Links, which financial calculator you use in the CFA, etc. I'll give it to you separately. I hope I clarified that yes, it's quite possible for commerce students to do a subject of CFA. It's the fear about mathematics is not going to come into your way of clearing the CFA. Any doubts on that? Please quickly raise hand. No doubts. All right, good. With the help of CFA, can I get an international job? That's a common question that we get, because CFA is an international course. It's not a course coming from some Indian society. It's coming from an American society. So being an international course, whatever study I'm doing, an American student is also doing the same study. A Singapore wala student is also doing the same study. A Dubai wala student is also doing the same study. So will I get an international job after clearing CFA? Theoretical answer for this is yes. But practical answer for this is unfortunately 99% no. Only with the help of CFA will I get an international job. 99% no. I know that might have disheartened you that this is the international course. I should get international job. 99% no, and I'll explain you the reason, and I'll also help you out in case you want to go for an international placement, what you should do. Why it's not possible to get an international job with only CFA is because whichever international country you target to get a job. For example, I'm trying to get a job in Australia. Then generally government of Australia to give work visa, to award me work visa, generally will require me to spend at least 2 years of education in some Australian university. All right, that's what the requirement is, and that's actually a valid requirement also, because although CFA gives you a lot of general knowledge about finance, but the way the Australian equity market, Australian real estate market may work, the regulations which are there, the laws which are there in Australian financial market, Australian legal markets, etc., could be different from from the entire globe, and it's kind of very fair for a Australian government to put this requirement that if you want to work in Australia, if you want to get a work visa, you should do some course in Australian university. That could be a Master of Science, that is MS in Finance, or that could be MBA in Finance. And the problem with this is that this MS in Finance or MBA in Finance are way, way, way costly courses. MS in Finance would be around 25 lakh to 30 lakh, and MBA in Finance would be around 60 lakhs. So two costly courses. So I would say that if you want to spend that much of money, then you should try to work there for a long term. That means at least around 10-15 years. So if you are okay with working in the foreign countries like Australia, New Zealand, US, Singapore, Dubai, etc., for a long period of time, then you should do MS or MBA Finance. MS के लिए GRE, MBA Finance के लिए GMAT. CFA is not a must, but CFA would be helping you to differentiate yourself from the other applicants. Just a good score in GRE or just a good score in GMAT is not good enough to get an entry into those Australian university. You may get into some university which is not really great. To get into good universities, just a good score in GRE and GMAT is not good enough. Apart from that, you need some differentiator. The CFA could be that differentiator. Okay. But this option you should go only and only if you want to work there for long term. The reason is the MS Finance, Master of Science in Finance, or MBA Finance are too costly courses. So if you are going to spend that much of money, then obviously you want to earn a lot and then come back to India. If actually you want to come back to India after 10 years. Otherwise, after spending 10 years, generally people don't come back. But suppose you don't have that much of money, like if you don't have that much of money, then it's not possible to go there for long term. I mean, at least by this route of MS Finance or MBA Finance. So in that case, what you should do? You should try to do 4 things. Number 1, you should try to work for a multinational corporation which has foreign operations. If you work in SBI or Bank of India, then there are hardly any foreign operations. So chance of you getting a foreign posting is quite lesser. But this foreign posting is called as on-site opportunities. So on-site opportunities होने के लिए on-site में काम भी होना चाहिए. So for that you should target to work into multinational companies, MNCs. It's what the acronym called as. Then all the people who work in MNCs, they don't get those on-site opportunities. Only a handful of those out of 100 people, maybe 2 or 3 guys will get those on-site opportunities. 97 to 98 will not get. Only 2 or 3 guys will get that on-site opportunities. So who are these 2 or 3 guys? These 2 or 3 guys could be the one who are extremely good in their work, as well as those who know the basics in detail about finance. So over there, the CFA could come into play. So you should try to do both. You should be amazing at work. So you should try to work and try to be in the top, as well as you should try to pursue the course of CFA so that the financial knowledge becomes more sound. All right. So 1, don't work in Bank of India, which does not have a multinational operations. work into Bank of America or Deutsche Bank or DBS India. Now DBS India will be having 530 branches from Lakshmi Vilas Bank. That's an amazing opportunity for us. 530 branches, so we can work in DBS India. And then if we have CFA or if we are doing amazing at work, then we may get on-site opportunities in DBS Singapore, because the head office of DBS is there in Singapore. So you from this route can go into on-site opportunities. So work in a MNC, work honestly, try to be at top, as well as do CFA so that you differentiate yourself from others and then get that on-site opportunities. So to answer, with the help of CFA solely, can I get an on-site job only solely? No, it has to be coupled with you working in a MNC company and then you being very good at your job. All right. Or if you want to go there for long term, then only CFA is not good enough. Apart from CFA, you need to have Master of Science in Finance or MBA in Finance. I hope that kind of answers this doubt in your mind that can I get an international job just because of CFA. I hope I answered that. About cost of CFA. Cost of CFA are little higher because this exam is an American exam, and as it is, the cost a little higher. In level 1, there are 2 fees, and in level 2, level 3, there is only 1 fee. In level 1, the 2 fees are registration fees and exam fees. And in level 2 and level 3, there is only and only exam fees. In level 1, there is a registration and exam fees, and level 2 and level 3, there is only exam fees. So in level 1, registration fee is $450. $450 would be somewhere around 30,000 rupees. Okay. And exam fees is around $700, which is around 50,000 rupees. So if I look at total level 1 fees, $450 for registration, $700 for exam, together it comes to around 80,000 rupees. Level 2 and level 3, there's only exam fees, which is $700. So that makes it around 50,000 for level 2, 50,000 for level 3. That makes it 1 lakh rupees. So around 80,000 for level 1, 50,000 for level 2 and level 3 each. That makes it around 1.8 lakh rupees. It keeps on changing as the dollar keeps on changing, but on an average, you can say it's around going to be 2 lakh rupees. So 2 lakh rupees is the cost of CFA for all 3 levels together. Level 1, $450 of registration, $700 of exam. That's $1,150, around 80,000 rupees. Level 2, level 3, $700 of exam fees. That comes to around 50,000 rupees for level 2, 50,000 rupees for level 3. Around 2 lakh rupees is the course fees. Now, 2 lakh rupees is the total course fees. 80,000, 50,000, 50,000 approximately. For those students who cannot afford that much of high fees, CF Institute is very kind to offer scholarships. However, those scholarships have to be applied from a certain date to certain date. And unfortunately, that time frame for the scholarship for 2021 exams, all 2021 exams, February, May, August, and November, all 2021 exams, scholarship applications has been closed by Safe Institute. Sad. But if you are from a financially not so good background, then you can take February 22 exam, where if you are awarded with a scholarship, and CF Institute does do award students with a not so good financial background, they do award with a scholarship, the fees of 80,000 of level 1 gets reduced to 20,000. There is a drastic reduction, around 60,000 rupees of fees get saved in level 1. And then for level 2 and level 3, again, you can apply for the scholarship. 50,000 will go down to 20,000 for level 2, and 50,000 will go down to 20,000 for level 3 also. So together, the level 1, level 2, level 3 fees, if you get scholarship, would be around 60,000 rupees. But unfortunately, the deadlines for scholarship applications for 2021 exams is over. So if you want to apply for scholarship, you will have to take 2022 February ka exam. If you want to see how to apply for scholarship, we have made a detailed video on how to apply for scholarship. When to apply it? It generally opens on 1st of March and then closes on 15th of September. All right. And this year, 1st of March and to 15th of September time frame is over. So now you will not be getting scholarship for 2021 exams. So you have to apply for scholarship applications in the next year from 1st March to 15th September. then you will be able to get scholarship for 2022 exams. But more on the scholarship application has been recorded in the specific video. Those interested, get in touch with me. I'll send you the link for that video. All right. So in general, the fees of CFA is around 2 lakh rupees if you don't get a scholarship, and 60,000 rupees if you get a scholarship. Varun and Piyush and Chetan, I think you have questions on the scholarship or the fees. I'll take that in a while, but let me just explain about the exam structure, which I have not yet explained. CFA exam has changed the way they are going to take the exam. The CFA exam used to be a paper pencil exam, which used to happen twice a year, June and December. The level 1 used to happen June and December twice a year, and level 2 and level 3 used to happen just once a year. That was in June. Okay, so level 1 used to happen in December and June, and level 2 and level 3 used to happen only in June and in a paper based format. Now from 2021, two things are going to be happening. One, the paper format is now changing to digital format. So now the exams are going to be computerized. So you'll have to go to a college where you will not be writing the exam on paper and pencil, you'll be writing the exam on computer. All right. Second thing, इसमें तो कुछ ज़्यादा मतलब फर्क नहीं पड़ता ना, मतलब whether you write on paper or pencil या computer से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Doesn't matter much. But what matters is the next change. The level 1, which used to happen twice a year in June and December, now from 2021, it's going to happen 4 times a year. And those 4 times are February, May, August, and November. I repeat, instead of June and December, the level 1 would be conducted 4 times a year, February, May, August, and November. Out of which February 2021 registrations are closed. May, August, and November, the registrations are on. It is possible to register yourself for May, August, and or November attempts. In CFA, it's little different. I mean, when a student comes to me and asks me, sir, can I do May exam, or do you think it's May going to be too early? I should target August exam. I reply this way. Basically, the cost of a CFA exam is so high that there is no scope for an error. So when a student asks me this question, I cannot just say that कि May के लिए sufficient time है, go for May, or नहीं May के लिए sufficient time नहीं है, you should not go for May, because the fee is so high that there is absolutely, I should not leave anything for scope of error. The scope of error should be as low as possible. So what do? If a student comes to take admission in our classes, what we do is we first analyze the student. So before he registering for the exam, we coach him for 2 to 3 subjects. After he studies those 2 to 3 subjects, we analyze his performance by taking a test. By taking a mock test of those 2 to 3 subjects, individual subject-wise test as well as complete 3 subject ka test. Then we see his preparation, and then we advise him that is May possible or is May not possible, he should go for August. So similarly, if some of you would want to ask that question to me, that is May possible, sitting in almost at the end of November, when you have December, Jan, Feb, March, April, only 5.5 months to take just a second, to take a May exam. If there's only 5 months, then is that 5 months good enough? At this point, I will not answer that question, because you will be spending 80,000 rupees. So I would need to analyze your progress at least for 1.5 months, to at least 2-3 subjects. I want to see how consistently you are able to study, how is your grasping power, and finally, how are you doing in the test? And based on that, then I will analyze and tell you, should you go for May or should you go for August? And over here, the fees is so high. That's the reason we do not tell the students to register and then start studying. Is the reverse way. You start studying, see your progress, and then register for the exam. From the class perspective, we do not take like extra fees that students first tell us ki we are going to take May, and then I tell to the students ki okay, May is not possible, it's better to go for August or November. In that case, we do not take any extra fees from the student to shift from May to August. For us, the success of a class is when student clears a level 1 exam. It doesn't matter to us ki when you clear level 1 in May or August or November. So in terms of our class, it doesn't matter when you're gonna take level 1. So our objective would be to help you clear level 1. So for that, we will see your performance in the period of 1.5 months, and then at the end of which we are gonna give you a recommendation that you should target level 1 in May if you are really doing amazing, or take a little more time and prepare for level 1 August or level 1 November. All right. In our classes, we have started the registrations for level 1 May. I mean, those students who want to join our classes, for them, we have already started taking the registration for level 1 May. At this time, it's kind of, they are telling us that we want to go for level 1 May, but I'm telling them that you should not register till I give you a green signal. Okay. So it's level 1 potential May. It could be level 1 August also later on. Those students who want to evaluate the teaching methodology of our class, get in touch with me. I will be able to send you a demo lecture where you will be able to evaluate the teaching methodology of our class. Right now, because of Corona, none of our branches are operational. Before Corona, we were there, and we will be there after Corona at 3 locations for sure: Dadar, Thane, and Andheri. We could be operating more locations also, but not lesser for sure. Central line Dadar and Thane, and Western line Dadar and Andheri. So these are the 3 locations that we will be surely operating. We could be operating in more locations also post Corona. But when is that post Corona event is going to be happening? Neither I know it nor you know it. So if you are targeting a May exam, then you should not wait. You should start online. Neither I like to teach online, like sitting in front of a computer and speaking like that. Neither I like it, nor you may like it. However, the harsh reality is that we cannot wait just to see when the corona is going. We have waited for 7-8 months. It's still not going, and no one knows when it will go. But the exams of February, May are going to happen. Yes, December exam could not happen in India because of government not getting a permission of conducting the exam on one day. December exam could not happen in India, but December exam is happening at other places in the world. February exam is kind of certain to happen for various reasons. One is that it is being operated in a computer based format, and there are various centers, and the exam is over 15 days, unlike the paper based December exam, which was there on 5th of December only, where 10,000 students were required to come on one day, and that's the reason government did not give a permission. February exam may the students 10,000 would be spread over 20 days. So on one day there will be just 500 students, that too spread across various venues at various time slots. And that's the reason the February exam is almost certain to happen and May exam is almost certain to happen. But government in its right way is not allowing us to open classrooms. And I do agree with the decision of the government not to allow starting of classroom or colleges also. Because writing of the exam, there is a social distancing which could be easily maintained, but in the classroom the health reasons do take a priority. One student in the class has a corona, then entire class can get a corona. That's a too risky thing, and as a reason it's not safe to open the classroom. But at the same time, it's not safe to keep on delaying, and hence we decided a call to start the online classes for me. We were waiting. I mean, in the month of October, when the corona cases were down, we were waiting to see ki maybe in the month of December we'll be able to open the classroom, but it was not happening. Corona cases are still there, so we decided to start online. So maybe 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, it could be online, and post corona, it would be converted into classroom at Thane, Dadar, and Andheri. All right. Level 2 and level 3, which used to happen just once a year, now going to happen twice a year. I repeat, level 2 and level 3, which used to happen just once a year in June, now it's going to happen twice a year. In 2021, the level 2 is happening in May and August. I repeat, in 2021, the level 2 is happening in May and August. But from the 2022 onwards, level 2 would be there in February and August. So for you guys, just remember level 2 would be in February and August, and level 3 May and November. So February, May, August and November, इन चारों months में level 1 तो होगा ही. February और August में level 2 होगा, and May and November में level 3 होगा. Clear? I repeat, February, May, August, November, L1, 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 L1. Level 2 will happen in February and August, and level 3 will happen in May and November. There has to be approximately a 9 months gap between two levels. So for example, if you take level 1, then level 2 should be happening in around 9 months. And level 3 after 9 months. So with that, approximately this course could be over in around 18 months. That's 1.5 years. That's what I had said earlier, that this is a little shorter duration course as compared to CA. This course could be completed in a period of 1.5 years. All right. So level 1, February, May, August and November. Level 2, February and August. Level 3 is May and November. All right. So that's about the exam calendar. About exam structure, the level 1 is all objective questions. Level 2 is also all objective questions. But the difference is, in level 1, you have individual questions. In level 2, you have case study and then case study based questions. All right, that's a difference. But level 1 and level 2 has all objective question. Each question has 3 options ABC without any negative markings. So there aren't any negative markings. 3 options ABC, no negative markings. Level 1, level 2, all objective questions. But in level 1, individual objective questions. Level 2, case study based objective questions. Level 3, half of the exam is subjective, where you have to type the answers. Earlier it was about writing, now it's being digital, you have to type the answers. And half of the exam would be objective. Okay, case study based, like level 2 is. Level 3 mein half of the exam is paper based, typing based, not paper based anymore, subjective, and half of the exam would be objective, like a case study based level 2 exam. All right. So level 1 all objective individual questions. Level 2 all objective case study based question. Level 3 half exam typing related and half exam objective case study based. That's the exam structure. All right. What about the minimum passing score? CFA Institute does not disclose the minimum passing score. So this is like a race where you don't know how much is the marks required, minimum marks required to pass. No one knows the reason why CFA Institute does not disclose that. However, because I've been teaching CFA since around like now 8 years, I kind of know approximately, I can estimate that minimum passing score of level 1 is somewhere around 62%. Sometimes it could go down to 60%, sometimes it could increase to 65%. The minimum passing score required in level 1 is around 62%. Level 1 around 66%, and level 3 again around 62%. I repeat, these are passing marks. 62% is a minimum passing marks required in level 1 and level 3, and in level 2 it's around 66%. This data you will not find anywhere on the CFA website. This is based on my experience. This is the estimated minimum passing score based on my experience with the students in the past 8 years. I repeat, minimum passing marks in level 1 and level 3 62%, and in level 2 66% approximately. All right. What I didn't cover, let me just think about it. I think I covered everything about CFA exam. Okay, how much time is required to prepare for it? As I told you in the I was discussing earlier, it depends on individual to individual. So I cannot tell you right now how much time is required for clearing the level 1. It depends on person to person, but on an average, you can say level 1 ke liye, the number of hours that you need to put in would be somewhere around 600 hours. 600 hours. Yeah, you heard it right. Why so? Because not because the exam or the course is difficult, is because it's quite vast. 10 subjects and 55 chapters. 55 chapters is a big, huge syllabus, and that's the reason it requires around 600 hours of preparation. Level 2, 700 hours of preparation, and level 3 also 700 hours of preparation. That's on an average, I'm saying. Some students may require lesser than this, some students may require more than this. But on an average, level 1, 600 hours, level 2, 700 hours, level 3 also 700 hours. I hope I give you complete perspective about the CFA exam. Let me see if I have any pending questions which students keep, they ask me and which I have not addressed. I think I've addressed almost everything. Yeah, I didn't address one thing, which is eligibility criteria. Eligibility criteria has been made more stringent by the CFA Institute, and because of that, it's kind of very clear that a second year student cannot take a level 1 exam. To take a level 1 exam, the eligibility criteria is that you either should be done with your graduation, or at the time of registration, not at the time of writing, at the time of registration, you should be in the final year of your graduation. I repeat, either at the time of registration, you should be a graduate, you should have completed your graduation, or at the time of registration, you should be at the time of registration, not at the time of writing the exam. At the time of registration, you should be in your final year of your graduation. All right. Apart from that, there is some third complex criteria of for those people who had dropped out of their graduation because of some personal reasons. They couldn't complete their graduation, so there's some third criteria. So for those who are interested in those criteria, just get in touch with me, I'll help you out. That's only for those students who couldn't complete their graduation for some reason. For those students who are graduates, you are eligible, and those students who are right now in their final year of their graduation, they are also eligible. Those students who are in second year, once you clear your second year, once you enter into the third year, then you can register for your CFA exam. Which means a second year student right now cannot take a February exam, cannot take a May exam also. Because May exam ka registration will get closed in the month of February, and in the month of February you will be still in your second year. So you could take August exam or you could take November exam. A second year student cannot take Feb and May exam. Feb तो अभी कोई नहीं लिख सकता, Feb का registration भी close हुआ है. But second year student cannot take a May exam. They can take August or November exam. I do not encourage them to take a November exam because November में third year का semester 5 का exam would be there. So I would encourage a second year student to target August exam, August 2021 exam or February 22 exam, but not November 21 exam, because November 21 exam could clash with your semester 5 of your graduation. All right, that's eligibility criteria for level 1. Level 2 and level 3 के लिए eligibility criteria is simple. You have to be a graduate. Without graduation, you cannot register for level 2 and level 3. Okay. Apart from this, you need to have one important document without which you cannot register, and that important document is a valid international passport. To register for CFA exam, unfortunately, you have to have an international passport. Your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your license are not good enough. They used to be good enough till 2011, but from that, they have discontinued all other identity cards. They accept only one identity card, which is your international passport. So you have to apply for international passport if you want to take a CFA exam. So level 1, either graduation complete or being in the final year of graduation will help you to register for level 1 exam. Level 2 and level 3, you have to complete your graduation, then only you can register for level 2 and level 3 exam. And for any of the levels, you have to have international passport. That's about the eligibility criteria for CFA. Regarding classes, I am going to be your faculty. I am Rajaram Kamath. I have done my engineering, then did my MBA, and then along with the MBA, I have done my CFA. Then I have worked in corporate for around 7 years into the field of investment banking, but I had more passion towards teaching. So while working in the investment banking, I used to teach on weekends. And over there, I used to enjoy more actually. I used to enjoy my work also, but I used to enjoy weekends more because I used to get opportunities to interact with the students. So teaching used to be my passion and has been always my passion. Even during my engineering days, I used to like to teach. So it has always been my hobby and passion, and then I decided to take it as a career. So in 2017, I decided to 2016, actually, I decided to start my own classes. So in 2016, I started my own classes, and it was kind of a thing that I was not able to manage classes completely because I was working also. So with work, was able to manage weekend lectures in some other institute. So first, I used to visit some other institutes where I used to teach CFA. But when I started my own classes, apart from teaching, there was other management things also, which was a kind of very hectic work. So I decided to quit my job and focus on classes only. So from 2017 onwards, I'm full-time faculty. Uh, I had approximately coach around 20 batches of level 1, around 8 batches of level 2, and around 5 batches of level 3. For the 2021 February exam, you cannot register. It's closed. May exam, August exam, November exam, you can register. But as I said, first we would analyze your performance, and then we will advise you to take either May exam or August exam or November exam. All right. If you want to analyze teaching methodology of the class, do get in touch with me. I would either allow you to participate in the live demo session if it is happening for some fresh subject. When you are starting a fresh batch, at that time I can allow you to participate in the live demo session. But if you're not starting a fresh batch anytime like in the near soon, if you're not going to start that, then the demo lecture, which is going to be live. So whatever lecture is happening right now is getting recorded. So us recordings that would be able to help you to evaluate our teaching methodology. So get in touch with me in case you want to evaluate our teaching methodology, class ka fees detail, etc. Whenever the lectures are happening, I would be able to answer that. So get in touch with me on the WhatsApp. I will be able to answer that questions on the WhatsApp. All right. So that's about the classes. And now I'm open to your general questions also, which you believe I have not answered, as well as specific questions. All right, Varun, please ask a question. Those are questions. Those who have taken a lot of effort to type those questions in the chat section, I would request if you could just raise hand. I'll enable your audio, and that will be a little better way to answer it. Yes, Pradeep or Varun, one of you could just.
Hello.
Yeah, Varun.
Audible, sir?
Yes, Varun. Pradeep, I'll come back to you. Varun, please.
Yeah, sir. So basically, you just said right that the scholarship deadlines for 2021 are over. So we'll have to pay the full fees to get, give the level 1 exam. My question was like, supposingly I pay whatever fees of level 1, 80,000, etc. For the May attempt or August attempt, whichever I'm targeting. And when I want to give my level 2 attempt in 2022 February, so at that time I can apply for the
Yes.
scholarship, right? So
Yes.
there's no criteria that if you've not applied at level 1, you cannot apply at level 2.
Nothing like that. So if your deadlines for the scholarship was over for level 1 because of which you couldn't apply, then you can still apply for scholarship for level 2 and level 3. And many students have got that actually. Those students who didn't get a scholarship in level 1 or didn't apply for scholarship in level 1, they have got the scholarship in level 2 and level 3. So yes, it's possible to get scholarship in level 2 and level 3, even though you have paid full fees for level 1.
Okay, sir, one more small
I'll
question.
come back to you, Arun, in a while because there are other like questions. So other students. So just keep raising and I'll come back to you in a while. Yes, Pradeep, and anyone else who has question, please raise hand. Yes, Pradeep.
Sir, after completing MBA, can I get a job after that? Can do a CFA course also with working professional.
Come again, please.
Working professional can do CFA also with
CFA
MBA.
is a course which is either to be done with your work or it's to be done along with your final year of your graduation. It's not a full-time course which like you have to quit your job and do the studies. It's not that course. So CFA is a course which has to be done along with your job or along with your final year of your graduation. And hence it is manageable. On a weekly basis, if you could spare out 20 hours from your work, weekly 20 hours, if you could do that, it's very well manageable to do CFA along with your job. Pradeep, is it fine?
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right. Yes, Anjali. Yes, Anjali.
Yes, I'm actually based in Bangalore, and then you're telling all the classes are from Mumbai and
So we
all.
do have online. So basically, even after the corona gets over, we would still be having online batches for the outside Mumbai students. So you
And
can
so,
yeah for the
yeah,
evaluation methodology.
Okay. And what about the scope of corporate and MNCs? Like,
Come
um,
again?
about the recruitment, I wanted to ask.
So the placement from the class
Yeah,
side.
placements.
Okay,
Yeah,
so from the class side,
in
we
India. Huh.
so neither CFA institute nor class side guarantees a placement. So neither CFA institute nor RK finance classes guarantees placement. CFA level 1, level 2, level 3 has a considerable value on the resume, because of which you would be able to get into the job market on your own. But for that, we would require some assistance. We will be there to assist you. What do you mean by assistance? First, we would help you to do financial modeling, because CFA is about financial calculator. In the job, you will not be doing the work on financial calculator, you will be doing the work on the financial Excel. So you need to know how to do the stuff that we learn, how is that applicable in the practical life. So we will help you to do financial modeling. We do not charge any extra fees for the financial modeling thing from the students. Second, we help you to make your resume. I have seen students making a absurd resume. So we do help you in making your resume. Third, we help you to select companies on the Naukri.com, Monster.com, which companies to apply, which companies not to apply. We help you in that. Next, we have a kind of a social network of our existing alumni students. So whenever they come across any opening, so we will help you to get into the interviews rounds. And most importantly, in the interviews round, what to speak, what not to speak. We would help you to get a mock interviews. So we do help you in the mock interviews. Apart from that, to get you updated about the general things, we do write blogs on our website. So recently about the web series The Scam about Harshad Mehta, I had written a blog which will help you to connect what we learned in CFA. How can that be connected with Harshad Mehta? Similarly, LVB, Lakshmila's bank failure, what we can learn from that, which is absolutely required for you in the interview rounds. That would be helpful. Those blogs will be helpful for you to develop your personality, which will help you in your place in your interview round. So we do not guarantee placement, nor CFA Institute guarantees it. Okay, but we do help in placement assistance in terms of resume building, in terms of your mock interviews, in terms of helping you select the right profiles, and importantly, financial modeling. I hope, Anjali, that answers your question. Anjali, is that clear?
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
All right, Piyush, please ask your question. Piyush, please ask your question.
Sir, can first year student also apply for or we should be
First
in
year
study?
student cannot. No. First year students, second year students can study CFA, but they can register for CFA exam only when they clear their second year. Then only you can register for your exam. Piyush, you want to ask something? You're
Yes,
in
sir.
first year right now, Piyush?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you would be clearing your first year in 2021 April. You will be clearing your
Because
second year in
due to
April
corona,
22.
my college is starting now.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm saying in 2021, you will be done with your first year, will be in your second year. In 2022, you'll be clearing your second year. So 2022 ka August exam is where you can take your CFA level 1.
From next year.
Piyush, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
August 22.
Yes, sir. August 22. Okay.
All right. Uh, Good. Okay. Uh, yes, Dhruvil, please ask your question, Dhruvil.
Yeah, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Dhruvil. Hi.
Yeah, so I'm doing my MBA and I'm still exploring for CFA. And so I want to know, like, I was planning for May attempt. So, like, is 5 months enough, like, for preparation? Like, as you said,
I said in the main seminar, I cannot tell you right now, because if had it been 2,000 or 5,000 rupees of fees, I could have told you कि ठीक है कर लो. लेकिन fees इतना ज़्यादा है that without Dhruvil, without knowing you, I cannot tell you कि 5 months are enough. But yeah, in general, yes, 5 months are kind of sufficient time to prepare for CFA exam. But you shouldn't register for it blindly. Start preparation, see, analyze in a period of 1.5 months. I would start to know you you will start to know about CFA course, and then this gap right now that I know about CFA, but I don't know about you, and you know about yourself, but you don't know about CFA. So right now we have that communication gap that I know about CFA, but I don't know about how will you find CFA course. You know about your learning capabilities, but you don't know about CFA course in detail. So that gap could be narrowed down in 1.5 months, 2 months, and then we can take a test, and then we can take a call. Ki is May possible? But till that time, you can assume that you are preparing for May exam, but don't register for May exam.
So how
Registration
should I,
open till 23rd February.
how should I go about? Like I should read some books like CFA related
Get
books.
in touch with me. First would be the foundation sessions which are there on our website. So three foundation sessions: foundation to accounts, foundation to maths, and foundation to financial markets. Just do those and then get in touch with me. I'll help you out with that. How to get the study material, etc. I'll help you out with that. Our class ka study material, I can provide you with that without any fees. I can provide you with that. Our class ka study material, which could help you out to know about CFA course.
Okay, so I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care, Dravil. Yes, Faisal.
So I have this doubt, like, does L1, L2, L3 needs to be done in continuation, or like, or can I take a big break, like after
Yes,
doing
yes, yes. You
L1, I
can,
can?
you can. So minimum break is 9 months between any level one and level two. Minimum break is 9 months. But if you want to have more time, you can have more time.
So registration doesn't expire, right? Like
No,
once
no,
you.
there's no expiry of registration. There's no expiry of registration.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Debian. Okay, your audio device isn't working. That's why I'm typing, sir. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let me read your question. How can an engineering start to prepare for CFA from institute books or other notes? Okay. Uh, is sufficient to grasp knowledge and crack exam. So how can engineering start preparation? Okay. So as I told to Dhruvil, it would be the same thing with you that first you should do foundation to accounts, foundation to financial markets, and foundation to financial calculator. Once you do that, then get in touch with us. Our class ka notes, I will tell you, I'll share with you. Our class ka notes are good enough to crack the exam. Our class ka notes are completely concise to help you out to clear the CFA exam. CFA Institute ka notes, CFA Institute ka books are too bulky, around 3,500 pages. Our class ka notes are 700 pages, which are quite concise, where we have cut the crap and focused on the most important points. So yes, class ka notes are going to be sufficient enough to prepare for the exam. So apart from the class ka notes, you had mentioned about other notes. Those notes which you have mentioned in the chat section are actually also good enough. So either class ka notes or the notes that you mentioned, both are good quality notes. I'm not just saying only our class ka notes are great. Those notes that you mentioned in the chat section, these are also good notes which you can use also for the preparation of exam perspective. Yes, it is going to be for grasping knowledge also, but connecting that knowledge with the practical life, over there we would be adding value. So for example, financial modeling, for example, how is the thing that we cover in CFA connect with Lakshmila's Bank or Burger King IPO, Kalyan Jewellers IPO. These are the things which will not be there in neither in those notes that you spoke about or in the institute books. For that, the blocks that I make, the financial modeling session that I take, the weekly discussion that I do, of the weekly news discussion that I do with the students, that is going to help you to develop your personality and connect the theory with the practical life. All right, Debian, I hope I answered that. Yes, Jyoti. Jyoti, please ask your question.
Sir, is CFA exam hard to like crack like CA exams?
So that's kind of a very subjective question. In general, CA exams are more difficult. CFA exams are relatively easier, but that's in general. But individual to individual, it could differ. As CFA focuses only on finance and not on accounts or IT, law, etc., CFA becomes a little easier. And with objective nature, it becomes even more easier. CA exam में passing is little made more little difficult with individual subject wise 40 and group wise you have to score 200. CFA में there are three options: multiple choice MCQ and objective exam with no negative marking, so that makes life little easier. But yes, there is a challenge with CFA exam also, that there are 10 subjects. So exam should have been conducted like 10 days, one subject, one day. But no, all 10 subjects are tested on a single day. I repeat, all 10 subjects are tested on a single day, which is the reason why CFA becomes a little difficult exam. But not as difficult as CA, it's a little easier than CA. I hope Jyoti, I answered your question. 600 hours for level 1, 700 hours for level 2, 700 hours for level 3. Jyoti, this should be good enough to clear level 1, level 2, level 3. Is that clear, Jyoti?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Alright, Tejas. Tejas, I'm having a difficulty giving you access. Okay, but you have put the question in the chat section. If one wants to study abroad after graduation, how should one take the exam? I'm in the second year and I will graduate in 2022 and study abroad. If you want to do MS Finance or MBA Finance, then you should prepare for GRE and GMAT. That you could do simultaneously with your graduation, or you could do it after your graduation. But generally, good universities in abroad, which are called as the Ivy League. So those Ivy League universities require you to have some work experience. Generally, 2 years of work experience is said to be a kind of a must to target the top universities. So whenever you're doing those work experience, whenever that you're working in India, to get that work experience, during that time you can study for your CFA along with GRE and GMAT. All right. MIM in finance, I'm not sure about that course. MIM, can you just explain me the full form of that? I'm not sure about that course, but in general, MS Finance or MBA Finance from good universities require you to have a good at least 2 years of experience, and 2 years of work experience ke time you could pursue CFA, or you could pursue, along with GRE and GMAT, you can pursue that. So if your MIM course in finance does not require experience, in that case, you can get rid of your GRE and GMAT right now only. And then in the final year, you're in second year right now, then in the final year, you can target your CFA exam. All right. So right now, try to do your GRE and GMAT, whichever is required for that MIM course, which I'm not aware about. And in the final year, you can do your CFA, which should help you. I don't know. It's Master in Management in Finance. I don't know which course is that, but if it is like in finance, then CFA would help you to differentiate yourself from your batchmates to get a good placement. Yes, Pradeep, after CFA level 1, you do get a job. Pradeep, let me enable you. After CFA level 1, as I said, each level of CFA does help you to get a job. On an average, the packages that you get after level 1 are in the range of 3 to 6 lakhs. I repeat, for a fresher, the packages that you get after clearing level 1 for a fresher is in the range of 3 to 6 lakh. Why someone will get 3 lakh while someone gets 6 lakh? Because of the college differences. If someone is from a good colleges, then he may get 6 lakhs or even 7 lakhs also. And someone from a kind of ordinary college will get somewhere around 3 lakh, 3.5 lakh. So after clearing level 1, you can see packages in the range of 3 to 6 lakhs. Level 2 ke baad for a fresher, you will see a packages in the range of around 4 to 8 lakhs. And level 3 ke baad, it's going to be around somewhere around 5 to 9 lakhs. But on an average, as I said in the previous, level 3 will give on an average 7.5 lakhs of package. But that's on an average. But range for level 1 is 3 to 6. Level 2 is 4 to 8. Level 3 is around 5 to 9. Is it clear, Pradeep?
Okay, sir.
All right. Jerome, please ask a question.
Sir, right now I'm working in IT sector, but after completing my graduation, I was working in an ICICI Prudential as a salesperson in entry level stage. Is it better to be switching to a financial companies or some banks when starting up with CFA will be better?
So Jerome, it depends on your interest actually. Your first job was into kind of sales or marketing. Second job is into right now IT. So if the right now job is it into IT and you want to move from IT into like finance, then you should pursue CFA or MBA finance. But if you're if you're happy with your IT profile, then you should look at the courses like data science, act, Six Sigma, etc. Those courses which are IT related courses, which will help you prosper in your IT career.
Sir, to the actual reason is I was doing, I was very much interested in investment activities, and I am having a good knowledge in stock market. So I wanna
But is
just
that a
develop
hobby or
myself.
is that what you want to fetch as a career?
Sorry, sir.
Is that your hobby or do you want to get it as your career?
I really wanna to
Then you
be
should do
as my
CFA.
career.
If you want to do it as a career, then you should look for CFA or MBA finance. All right.
Yes, sir. That's what.
All right. All the best, Jerome. Okay. If I mean you get in touch with me in case you have any further question, do get in touch with me.
Sure.
Yes, Riddhi. Yes, Riddhi. Please enable.
Um,
Enable audio.
yeah, sir. What is better, CFA or FRM? If we if,
Uh,
if we had
frankly,
to choose between two in terms of employability.
CFA is better. I'll tell you the reason why CFA is better than
Mm,
FRM, because FRM does not have that much of recognition because it's coming from a university which is yet to recognize itself. It's yet to get a recognition in India. Second, it's
okay.
a course which is very, very, very narrowed down into only into risk management. It does not have any other prospects of finance apart from risk management. So it does not have project finance, it does not have economics, it does not have commodities, it does not have real estate, it does not have equity market, it only has risk management. So it's so narrowed down course that it gives you a very narrow kind of a knowledge, doesn't give you a broad knowledge of finance. And secondly, the university is not that recognized. University, by the way, is called as GAR, Global Association of
Right.
Risk Professionals. That is not yet recognized, and that's the reason. Although it's a short and sweet course, just the two levels, cheaper course
Correct.
also, but it does not have that much of value as compared to CFA. If you have to choose between CFA and FRM, my vote will go for CFA.
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome, Ranjit. Yes, Faisal.
Sir, I have two questions. One is like, does the weightage keep changing from level one, level two, level three?
No, yeah. The weightage of subjects is like, for example, if I talk about equity subject, then the weightage in level 1 is 11%, weightage in level 2 is around 15%, weightage in level 3 would be around 10%. So yeah, weightages keeps on changing between level 1, level 2, and level 3.
Okay, and my second question is, I've heard like you should always start your FRM level one once you complete your CFA level two. So is that a good choice to do it together or separately?
Nothing. I'm of the view that I think you work in Morningstar, no?
Yes, sir.
So you should not look for FRM at all. It's a too narrowed down course only into risk management. So if you're working in risk management company where you are looking at market risk or you're looking at credit risk, in that case, if you want to go up the scale, that is, if you want to get a promotion, etc., then that particular exam is kind of going to create a value. But that exam
Okay.
does not have that much of employability. So if you want to switch across from Morningstar to some other company, then CFA would be helpful. FRM will not be. So if you're working in a risk management company and want to be there in that company and you want to get a promotion, etc., then FRM would be of worth. Otherwise, FRM is not of worth.
Oh, thank you, sir.
No sure. Yes, Varun. Varun, please enable yourself if you can, or type your question in the chat or Q&A section. All right. Dhruvil, you have one more question. Please ask, Dhruvil. Varun, in between, type your question. All right. In between, I'm taking the questions that were there in the Q&A section. Till the time, if you have some question, please raise hand. Yes, corporate finance is included in the course of CFA. That's called as project finance, corporate finance. Can I apply for scholarship in the second and third year? I did answer that. Registration fee issuer is $450 for the CFA Institute. Harsh. Harsh has a question that he is doing a 5-year integrated course. Harsh, 5-year integrated course, maybe once you are into the 5th year, then only you are eligible for level 1. Only the final year are eligible for level 1. Yes, Dhruvil. Please ask your question, Dhruvil. You. Pradeep has a question. After completing CFA, all levels, which position can we be working in a multinational company? You could be an investment analyst. Okay, so you could work as an investment analyst or corporate finance analyst or credit rating analyst or credit research analyst. These are the positions that you could get. So YouTube guys, uh, CN Nike, I hope I addressed your question, CN. Salary after CFA and how it did compared with the other courses like CMA and CPA, which I told that's the accounting courses, whereas CFA is a finance course. So I hope CN Nike I addressed your question, and I guess that's the only one question that we have in the YouTube. All right, Sian. So I hope you got your answer. And Dhruvil, I'm not able to see your question. So if you could type your question. Fine. I think Dhruvil, we are not able to get in touch with you. Fine. I hope the session was helpful to you to evaluate CFA as your career option and compare that with MBA Finance and CA. If you have any further questions, do get in touch with me in my personal WhatsApp chat. You know my number, but let me still share my number with you. All right. So my number is over here. The first one is my number. The 7738 is my number. Advisable to WhatsApp me because I might be in the lecture, and hence advisable to WhatsApp me on this number. And then whenever I'm free, I'll give you a call. All right. Take care, guys. It was a awesome session. It was a very fun for me to help you explore the CFA. I hope you found this session